There he is, buddy. There you go. I got you unmuted.
There you go. You hear me now?
I do.
I thought I'd. Are we live?
What's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, buddy. Good to be here, man.
You hear this music in the background?
I can barely hear it. I figured you'd probably be playing "We Are the Champions" or something, man. You
know. All right, man. Listen. So this is, if you don't know, this is recorded. Okay.
Yep.
So, we'll try to keep this in a duration of about 40 minutes. I think there's a lot we can go over. Whatever we can cover and what we can speak to as far as the players that are registered for this tournament as we approach 4 or 5 days out from our event at Shaker Run. So let me go ahead and pop something up real quick, get some intro out of the way, and we'll get right into our discussion. So right now, you kind of see what this backdrop, right? You see.
I can see it.
All right, so welcome to Tour Talk. This is episode 5. We got a very special guest on this session right now. It's the director of the Queen City Amateur Tour, Mr. Matt Johnson. So episode 5 here is going to be mostly about what things are being set up for our event at Shaker Run. But some stuff to get out of the way. This is kind of very unique. It's just a one-on-one, myself and Matt. So most of this doesn't apply, but it is recorded. So just be mindful of that. And we'll try to, again, keep it under 45 minutes for those out there watching. So we've been doing this tour talk now. Again, I'm Jacob Bridges, director here for Capital City Amateur Tour. I'm here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. doing this. Every event we have the day before, we're doing Cart Ready, where we go over some rules, some setup for the event, what players can expect, where to go, etc. And then the day after the tournament, we're doing the trophy and award ceremony, which is what we just did yesterday for our event at the Country Club of Miracle Village. So I know I had some of this stuff set up as far as going over, but because of this opportunity to have Mr. Matt Johnson here, we're going to skip right down and go right into the next tee. So on the tee here is our event at the Shaker Run Golf Club. And before I hand it over to you, Matt, just kind of the preview, we have a lot of new members out there on our tour. Those for extending the wraparound season from last year. We last saw ourselves competing head-to-head when we joined together at Urbana Country Club in October. And this event is the second one of our season, but it's the first of the 3 legs of the Ryder Cup Series for the year. And we're giving it to you guys. And so, Matt, why don't you go ahead and now take the lead and tell the players what this event is, how it's going to work, scoring, how the points are earned, why is it leg 1, and then what things are you doing with the discussion with the pro and the course arrangements that's kind of lurking right there behind the scenes.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Jacob. So welcome everybody who is watching this or will be watching it on a delay. Jacob and I are excited to kind of continue the Ohio Golf Championships, which we kicked off last season. And what that is basically the Cincy Louisville Tour hosts an event, which we're doing here at Shaker Run on Sunday. And then Jacob's going to be hosting his event at the Pinnacle Golf and Country Club up near Grove City, which is a beautiful golf course where our tour actually used to have our Tournament of Champions. So that's going to be on June 22nd, I believe. Is that right, Jacob? Monday?
That's correct.
Okay. And then after Cincy and Louisville redeems themselves by winning the most flights during those first 2 tournaments, we will finally have Columbus travel south for the Ryder Cup. But until then, we'll give Jacob and the team some due. They were very good at Urbana. I blame Mike Perrazzo and I for losing all 4 points in that competition. So I apologize to my fellow members, and we're looking forward to kind of doing it again. So it was a lot of fun, as you're kind of seeing as Jacob rolls through the screen there. So a great opportunity for us to kind of bring the 2 tours together again. Great camaraderie between the 2 tours. It's fun for Jacob and I. I know it's fun for all the players. So it really kicks off this Sunday at Shaker Run Golf Club, which we've picked, which is north of Cincinnati. So should be a fairly easy commute for the Columbus guys coming in. If you're not familiar with Shaker Run, I'm going to give a little plug to Joe Robertson, who is a friend of ours who has been tasked with the Grow the Tree initiative, which is kind of growing Shaker Run, which was always listed as one of the top 100 golf courses in the country as a public. It was also best in state for numerous years, went through some reorganization. I wouldn't say it fell on hard times, but it needed a little bit of a rejuvenation, new management, and through Joe's leadership and the ownership team, I think for anyone that has not been to Shaker Run in the last 2 to 3 years, they're going to be very excited to see how the course has really made a serious comeback. They have built some residential neighborhoods inside of the course, so it's going to look a little different. It gets a little tighter for those of you that like to steer the ball left or right. So I encourage you guys to hit some 3-wood off the tee. Or for Richard Newsom and Tim Gardner, who hopefully will watch us later, know that I'll just blast everything, slice it out of bounds, and we'll play that local OB rule. I'll find myself sitting 4 in the fairway at some point as we continue play. But, yeah, Shaker Run Sunday, both tours. It kicks off with tee times. We're working on that tonight. That should be out by tomorrow afternoon. You're kind of getting a sneak peek of some of the players and some of the new flights. I know the names are a little bit different when you were used to what we did with the Golf Channel Tour. It really is the same handicap system from Champ through Snead. On my tour in particular, the Cincy guys will be playing at a senior level at 50 years old. Jacob's tour, we're going to remain at 55 to keep those both in line. Not an issue, obviously. I don't think we really have a lot of crossover there on ages, so that's going to work out perfectly. But we will get the tee times out tomorrow. But what you're going to see is Shaker Run has got 3 different 9s. The original rotation is Lakeside to Woodlands. Lakeside is a great 9. It kind of weaves a little bit through some of the new residential area. For the most part, that front 9 is right in front of you. When you get over to Woodlands, it's the tale of 2 different 9s. Hole number 10 will remind you very much of a very scenic resort-style par 5. Beautiful golf hole, and then it gets a little nasty as you go back into the woods. It's going to test you. It's kind of similar to maybe Pinnacle on the back 9 when you get into that back area where you're going to have to definitely have some shots and play it smart off the tee. But it's a great golf course. It's the original 18. It actually is going to host a friend of ours, Todd Johnson, with the Greater Cincinnati Golf Association. There's a 110-year tournament called the Tony Bloom Met that brings in the best golfers in Cincinnati every year. Shaker Run is actually going to host that here in a couple weeks. So you guys are going to play a really nice championship golf course. You're going to be excited to play it. What I personally like, and I know Mike Perez is not on here, but he'll tell you the best 9 at Shaker Run is what's called the Meadows, which is more of a links deal. And it is kind of, when you get on the property, it is more of a wide open links design. There's only one true hole that kind of has trees around it, so a lot more wide open. It does have some water on it. It's kind of a wide open driver's paradise. So we're actually going to split up what we've decided to do because of some of the tee times. We're going to start at 11:30 and we're going to play Lakeside to Meadows. And originally this was going to be for our senior players, but what we've decided to do is kind of push the Saracen through Snead groups onto that particular 18-hole rotation. So I think that's a little bit friendlier of a layout. And not from a challenge. They're both a challenge, but we are going to make that change. And then on the original Lakeside to Woodlands, we're going to play what was our Champ through Hogan flights. So we will get that stuff out to you guys. We'll have tee boxes, and we'll also have some more kind of local rules in your lap here very soon by the end of tomorrow. So that's what we got cooking for you guys. On another note, what we do here, and I know this is probably near and dear to Jacob's heart, quite a few people on our tour that have served and protected us as the men and women of the armed forces. We certainly appreciate that. This is a military appreciation event for us. We've been doing this a long time. We call it the Memorial Tournament, kind of in line with Jack's tournament. Up there in Columbus, you'll see that I'm not wearing our staff shirt for this event. So we got the USA, the Stars and Stripes. We highly encourage you guys to wear red, white, and blue at this event to support the troops. I'll be wearing these little beauties on the tee box. So FootJoy, red, white, and blue. And then you guys are going to be playing for the famous Eagle Trophy, which is right here. This is a very coveted crowd favorite, member favorite. A lot of guys like to compete for this. So you got the Eagle with the American flag. And Jacob, I know you interviewed Bill Leppert once upon a time. Bill Leppert was a very, loyal and great player on our tour. He unfortunately passed away suddenly a couple years ago. he made it into what we have down here in Cincinnati is the green jacket ceremony at our Masters tournament. So he's in our local Hall of Fame, and Bill's favorite tournament on tour every year was the Memorial. He was a big fan of the David Faraday Foundation. He was a big fan of the troops. We actually have military personnel that come to the event, and they're dressed up in their Air Force garb, and they usually tend the pin and act as honorary starters. What we're going to do differently this year is, unfortunately, we're not going to have them at the event due to some of the COVID concerns. So we don't want them tending the pin and being exposed to the 100 golfers on the golf course. We want to look out for those guys. But what we are doing, big thanks to Ed Johnson at Free Market Health Plans. He's giving what's called a sponsor's exemption to 3 of the military members that come and help us every year. They will be our honorary lead group to kick off the tournament. So we're going to get them out on the golf course, have some fun. Again, if you guys see the Eagle Trophy, it'll say in memory of Bill Leppert. I don't know if you'll be able to read that here, but it doesn't say that on the inscription. So all the flight winners are going to walk away with the Eagle, and we're going to celebrate the men and women of the armed forces. We'll have the United States flag on 18. So as you guys know, please don't let that flag hit the ground. And obviously you won't have to have it worry about that this year because all the flags have to remain in. You cannot remove the flags as part of the COVID guidelines. So big military presence. We're really looking forward to it. And we have the Ohio Golf Championship. We got the military aspect. It's the opening event of the new Queen City Cup, which you see behind me. And we're excited and ready to go, man. So after rambling on, any questions?
Man, that's a heavy lineup, man. There's certainly been an active tour down there, transition to what this is. This event, obviously, it seems like so many moving pieces, but it seems like you went through all of it really well. Thanks to the sponsorship, very special note for those 3 guys leading them off, and I understand that that's a tribute to them militarily. What as a player that's like Columbus, this is the first time we're going to have a heavy presence in this event. What would we expect to see like prior to, during, and you say you're playing for the Eagle, but for that, I guess the Ryder Cup, we're also playing for points, right?
Sure.
So I'll let you lead that on how that's going to work.
Yeah, so for both tours, I know we have kind of our own point system right now. So in Columbus, Jacob, you've got the Capital Cup, right? The Capital City Cup. And here in Cincinnati, Louisville, we call it the Queen City Cup. So everybody in this event is going to be playing for their own local tour point system. In our world, we kind of classify these points as kind of a featured tournament, which is more of, if you were to kind of compare that to the FedEx Series that the PGA Tour used to do, that would kind of be a normal event. So as a charity event, this is what we call a single points event. So it's very important. It's worth a lot of points. What we try to do here also is by strength of field. So whether it's a local major or a joint event through this Ohio Golf Championship, which really is what you and I designed to kind of feel like the World Golf Championships on the PGA Tour by bringing in the best players from the tri-state from both tours together to play in those flights. You get bigger prizes by bigger fields, by more players, and you're just really tested by great skill and play. But that's what this is. It's a big event. It's going to start off, you're going to get your local points. We are going to be playing for gift cards like we did before. So we've got a prize pool set, which we will publicize here once the tournament preview goes out tomorrow. You've got the Eagle Trophy at stake. On top of that, we've got some optional side games that everybody can enjoy, and they're really meant to accommodate all skills and ages. So we've got a skins game that we are going to combine the entire field to try to encourage the biggest payout. It's not handicap, but it kind of is in the aspect that, Snead's going to play their tee box and Champ's going to play their tee box. And so everybody's kind of got that advantage or that kind of medium to kind of pair the different flights. But skins is going to be all in one. That's $10. And then we've got a skills competition, which is going to be a lot of fun, which is the Queen City Cup. That's how you qualify for our local prize pool here locally. Jacob's tour as well. You'll be qualifying for your points through that. And we've got some sponsors that you guys are going to see relevant on the course, which is really exciting. There's a brewery up here called Sonder. And Sonder has partnered with us this year through Brian Parkhurst. And he is a guy that has worked on our tour for a little while. Great guy. He coaches King's High School sports up here in Mason, Ohio. And Sonder is kind of a microbrewery that's had a lot of success that's not too far from Shakers. So They actually open up on Friday. So if you feel like staying on Memorial Weekend, please go support that business. But it's going to be called the Sonder Signature Series. And at every event, they are going to sponsor a closest to the pin on the signature par 3 as designated by the golf course. So you'll see that out on the golf course. You can win a $50 gift card by being close to the pin. That's actually going to be by each tee box. So everybody's got an opportunity to win and throw in some good shots on that end. We also do some local stuff for an organization through a dear friend of mine who's named Danette Clark, and it's Building Blocks for Kids, bb4k.org. They work with kids that are in need, that have certain disabilities or special needs that need some help. And we've been working with them for quite a while, and we're excited to kind of bring something new this year, which we're calling the Pay It Forward, Play It Forward campaign. So what you're going to see on the golf course is not only will you see a United States flag on 18, you're going to see kind of a pink and white checkered flag that represents Building Blocks for Kids. It's going to be on a drivable par 4. And the goal there is anybody that can birdie or better that hole will be tossed into a raffle where they earn a charitable exemption that we call Champions for Charity at the end of the season. So at every event, every time you birdie, it's like getting a raffle ticket, and then we pull a winner at our tour championship, and that winner plays free golf the entire next season. So it's a way to give back to some great causes, and that's going to be part of the skills competition. And then we have, and I know Jacob, you have something similar, the winner's circle. Same thing, all the flight winners that you kind of bet on yourself to an extent by getting into the skills competition. You win your flight. You also get entered into a season tournament of champions type raffle, where again, you can kind of cash in on some free golf and some pretty cool stuff. So we've got that. And then the last thing we have is what we call the red, white, and blue raffle, which again is to help build awareness to the military. We actually do that at every single event, and that's $10, and that's a cash payout where we give half back to the players and we give half to charity. And in this instance, what we're going to be doing is partnering with the local Wounded Warriors project here out of Cincinnati. We're going to be donating some money to them, as well as continue some work with the David Faraday Foundation. So all the money you guys are putting into the side games, a lot of it's going back to charity for a great cause. Gives you guys an opportunity to win a lot of good stuff.
Wow. Man, that's a buffet. That's awesome, dude.
It's a lot. It's a lot, man.
Wait to get there. I hope it almost feels like I want to play more than 18 holes to just be exposed and surrounded by all that stuff, man. Well, it's a lot of good energy, a lot of good excitement. Thanks for taking the time to explain all that, because obviously, like I mentioned earlier in this segment, this is kind of one of the first times Columbus has this much of a draw towards an event such as like this, and kind of, fitting the two together with what your points are, what flights you have. So ultimately, for my Columbus guys, essentially, it's on our schedule, so it will carry and draw points. And the reason why they're pushed to this event, again, is for this Ohio Ryder Cup. And I gotta see that trophy back there in the background.
Yeah, that's a little heavy. I recognize that. I haven't seen it in a while, man.
So that'll be there. So ultimately, yes, one of the things that we're playing for is, those if your home tour is Columbus and you win your flight, that's a point for the tour, right? And then ultimately, with the combined 2 events that we have here for this event and in Pinnacle, the tour that has the most points from their flight winners will end up hosting the site in that head-to-head in the fall. So I'll spend a minute right here where, if your guys are kind of tuned into this, the event here, this is the Shaker Run. This is the page that I have to help your folks see who's in it, how to register, how to pay for events. When we come up to Pinnacle, so obviously you're hosting there, so it's very easy for your players to understand how to get into your event. But when it switches to myself hosting, this is where I encourage your players, and those of you that are watching from the Cincy area, the Queen City Tour, to log on here. How you get here is through my Facebook page. It's at that website link. It launches this, and it will tell you and take you right to basically a splash page for the event. There are the details on how to pay. And, currently there's some side game there. It's kind of straightforward. And then currently what the roster is. So this is as current as is what we're talking right now. So even if the event, it's just over a month away, we got 12 signed up for that. So a lot of excitement surrounding it. And that's just kind of the ease of use for your guys. This is a tool that's out there for them. All the questions that they have, the answers are right there for them. So.
Yeah, nice job of that, Jake. You did a really nice job with that, setting that up. So very user-friendly, and we'll make sure that Cincy and Louisville is well represented at Pinnacle.
Yep. So, Matt, I know, did you have anything else to add for the conducting event as to what to come before I can kind of continue with this agenda with the time we have left?
Yeah, so I'll just tell you, I know there's a lot of concern right now with COVID, right, with some of the stuff going on. Fortunately, I hope a lot of you, are starting to feel like things are getting back to normalcy a little bit. We obviously know that it's still out there and it's not going to go away, but we all have a responsibility to obviously take care of each other during this process. So I think what you're going to see some safety guidelines, if I could just touch on that real quick. What's nice about Shaker is, we're going to be well staffed at this event. We, certainly are going to take this serious. Our staff will have masks on. So when you get on site, please be aware of that. We are very much like, Jacob is, we're personable. We love our members, man. We're excited to see everybody. This is the first event. As much as we want to hug you guys and shake hands, we are going to practice social distancing. So, I hope no one takes offense to that. We are going to be excited to see you, but, we will look a little bit different when you guys come on site. We just kind of ask you guys, that's really for the players, not so much for us. So we just want to protect everybody in the field, whether you have an opinion on it or not, right? Some are okay with it and some have concerns, and that's why we have to respect everybody's, feelings on it. So we want to be sensitive to that. So what you're going to see, and again, this will be emailed out to all the players, we're actually going to set up a drive-through check-in process. We do not want anybody to arrive to the course more than 30 minutes before their tee time. And I know that sounds like you don't have a lot of time, but to make sure that we do practice social distancing and not gather and collect with a group of this size, what we really want to respect is the 10 people and under rule around each other at all times. So we're going to ask you guys to kind of come up like you would to the bag drop. Mike Perazzo and some of our staff are going to be there on hand. They're actually going to take your temperature before you come into the event. So we've got a touch-free temperature gauge that you can just sit there in your car. You do not have to get out. We'll just come say hello to you. We'll scan you real quick, make sure all is good. We'll kind of confirm that you've paid and that you want to get in some of the side games. We are not going to collect cash at the event, so we're asking you to pay through Venmo or PayPal or even a check before the event. But if for some reason you missed all that, you do want to get into that, you can certainly do that through a mobile app and online right from your car. So we'll help you with that. And we'll take your bag and we'll kind of get you set up for your carts. So we'll let you kind of get into the parking lot. The range and the putting green as of now will not be open. It will be open for public play, but it is not open to our tournament. And I'll just fall on the sword for that. I decided to make that decision, just try to champion this cause. And again, we trust all you guys and we know you want to warm up, but the best way to even this playing field is that everybody plays under the same conditions and we do it safely. So we are going to go ahead and remove the range and the putting green. You're welcome to warm up before you make the hour and a half ride for some of you guys. But if not, let's get you on the tee box and play some golf safely. So what you'll also find when you do get to your tee box, we've got a couple people that are going to keep the cart situation spaced out a little bit. So we're going to have one group pull up to the tee, give you some short announcements, get you on your way. What we are kind of talking about or trying to theme is really a touch-free tournament. And what that means to you guys is, again, we're not going to shake hands. We're not going to hug. We're still excited to see you and we're going to get you into your carts. They have released the local Department of Health. Fortunately, there are going to be 2 people in the cart if you're comfortable in doing so. And we're going to be very smart about that. We've emailed some of the players and you guys have that option. If you're not comfortable, you'll be in a cart by yourself. If you prefer to walk, you're welcome to do that. But we're going to play in threesomes and get you guys on the golf course. And when you guys come in, so what you'll see on the golf course real quick is we will not, the flag stick will remain in. They have the kind of the pool noodles that you're hearing about. Those are in the cup. We do expect you to hold the putts at all times. So we understand, and including myself, I had an example playing with Richard Newsom in a practice round. where I putted it pretty true and hit the flag and it popped out. You know, I know that's unfortunate, but look, you're going to have to tap that back in. So, we want the ball in the hole at all times. If for whatever reason the flag stick is kind of leaning, we do not want you to take the flag stick out. However, if you want to use your towel to just gently straighten that stick out and you do not touch it physically, that is okay. And we'll make sure that we can do it that way. But again, we want you to practice all state and social guidelines in doing this. There's no bunkers or there's no rakes in the bunker. If your ball is in the bunker, you have the luxury of lift in place, not clean, but you can lift in place. You can recreate a better lie within a scorecard length of where your ball was by just using your shoe to kind of create a flatter surface and place your ball down. Okay. That's what you'll see around the golf course. And then, kind of borrow a page from Jacob's book, which some of the Columbus stores saw on Monday. We are only going to have, in our particular case, we're going to have one scorecard. Okay. So we're going to designate a captain of the group. They're going to keep a group scorecard. We ask that everybody, when they finish a hole, just simply call out your score. If there's any questions, let's settle it before the next tee box so that we can move quickly. And at the end of the round, all the scores will be confirmed by the 3 players in the pairing. And then that'll be texted to myself. And once I have that and all is clear, I will confirm back to you guys that you have officially attested your scorecard. You do not need to sign it. We want one person to handle it at all times. And we're going to just kind of count it as that. If you are in the lead, we'll be keeping score at a scorer's table. We do not want people to come to score, and we just want you to text us. We want you guys to kind of get home and get home safely. We don't want you to gather, but if you text me and you are the current leader of that flight, we will ask you to kind of remain on property safely. It shouldn't be more than 10 or 20 minutes with all the groups paired together. And we do want to still present a trophy to you at scoring. So we'll make sure that we do get your trophy to you. We'll be doing some Facebook Live interviews with the winners and kind of presenting it while we're there. So we're excited to do that. And then the rest, anybody that's a top finisher, we will mail or Venmo you your gift card, your payment on side games, any prizes that you guys happen to gather. We'll make sure that we either mail those to you this week or get those out to you at the next event. So that's what you'll see on the golf course that will be part of the tournament guidelines. And again, all of this will be emailed to you guys in the tournament packet.
Excellent, man. That's a great explanation. I'm glad you touched on some of that setup. Outstanding. There's a reason why your events are as full as they are. The reason why our events are as full as they are. The much care, concern, and the attention to detail that you have, and you're so freely able to speak to all that. So you're certainly speaking to a lot of the players that are out there. So a lot of precautions. I really appreciate the position that you have. Gloved up, the touchless registration check-in. I like my event. I was masked up. And by participating in this event, you are coming to the event with your own accord with, no concern of health. You don't have any stay-at-home order from a physician, whether you are not detected any symptoms or it's displaying any symptoms. There's no signs of illness in your health, and you're going to hold the staff at Shaker Run harmless in the event that you are injured or contract any kind of illness. So certainly we still want to have all the precautions, and I appreciate and thank you for what you're all doing, sponsors that you have behind you, the staff at Shaker Run for setting it up the way they are with the flags, the noodles, all things considered, man. It's golf. We all play it under the same conditions, but we're excited. You can kind of see by the tee sheet how much support we have for the event. All right. So where else you want to go, man? Where else you want to go with this? Any reattack?
I think that's good, buddy. Like I said, we're looking forward to it, man. Yeah, you look good. I haven't seen you. You got the beard. So it's good. I finally got a haircut at Great Clips, $13.
Yeah.
Got it good to go. There's not much left up here, so I'll make sure I have my hat on. And I'm excited. We did have a special thing. If you do not follow us on social media, if I can do a cheap plug, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. It's just at QCM Cincy Tour. And we can get that out to you too. But we are going to be doing some fun stuff as early as tomorrow. We'll have some pictures of the trophy, some of the new banners we have. We did get someone that we're going to hashtag mustaches for the military. So please come in a stash if you can. Salute the stash, as we're going to call it. And for everybody that shows up in a mustache, we are going to donate $5 to the Faraday Foundation. We're all going to look silly. Our wives are going to hate us. Obviously, we have some beautiful ladies on our tour. So Ryan Moreland, Jill Kostick, Juan J. Choi. We certainly don't want you guys to have to wear a mustache. You guys are beautiful the way you are, so don't worry about it. We'll donate $5 on your behalves. But for the men, feel free to bring the stash. Tell your wife and spouse, significant other, that you have permission for one day. And we'll have a little fun with it, guys. We're going to do some photos, have a little competition, and like I said, try to go enjoy ourselves.
Excellent, man. I don't know if I'm gonna lose these, man.
Yeah, you got some work to do there, man. Don't pull that off. Maybe do the handlebars. You know?
No, I'm gonna just keep it like it is, man.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'll do mine, but it's I've been told it's more peach fuzz than an actual mustache. So
yep.
Hey, it is what it is.
I couldn't as I'm I did the plug for you. I kind of flashed that Facebook page you had there for you.
Cool.
I was actually trying to roam and locate that head-to-head, that rivalry thing that we had. It just come to my mind. I can't find it right now.
It's hanging in my garage right now. I still got the banner. Thank you, Tony Burbridge, for doing that, by the way.
Absolutely. So listen, since you're still here, man, I'm going to try to just push through some stuff. So again, it's probably not a focus of members on your tour, but in case of interest of those guys down there, look it up here. I'm going to just go ahead and continue to the next one here. This is just a popular topic, question rather. A lot of new members and a lot of existing members, they're having some struggles accessing that file within that website. So here's the thing about it. So it's designed and developed off of a computer, right? And its compatibility is in a desktop site. So if you're using your mobile device to access, be sure you change your settings. And how you do that, some of us out there with thumbs that aren't really used to smartphones, if you have an Android phone, what you want to do is to change it to the desktop site, you want to hit these three little dots up here on the right corner of your phone, and then this little menu pops down. That's where your desktop site is. Once you do these two steps, that file that you no longer could see, it now enables its cookies. So the buttons will start to appear. You click on them, they'll navigate. So if you are a iPhone user, okay, I'm not, I'm Android, so my iPhone crowd out there, you got to request the desktop website. There you go. You got an iPhone right there. So
Team iPhone.
So the thing is a quick Google search will kind of help you walk through this stuff, how to convert from mobile to desktop using an iPhone. But the first thing you want to do is you want to log in to a browser and go to www.facebook.com. And when you do that, you're going to see, go to the Facebook page for the Capital City Amateur Tour. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to find where the About section is. It's kind of really in two spots, but I'm going to navigate you to the About section. When you do that, it's on this little row here, this home row of a lot of categories on any event page. And it's kind of over here, but then when you hit it, step 2 here, this is the website. This is that crazy alphanumeric character. It doesn't say what it is, but if you hit this, it launches that file. Okay, and now we're iPhone users, so when the file's launched, it kind of looks a little blank. There's some spots that aren't really working well. Okay, well, the first thing you do is you hit the lowercase, uppercase A that's in that URL address bar, and this little window pops up, and there it is. It's called Request Desktop Website. Once you do that, again, Android, we got 2 things to do. You got an iPhone, you got to do at least 3, 4 steps, 5 steps, okay? So those are the things that if you're watching this video, people ask me, and if I can't see your problem because I'm not with you, I'm gonna direct you to this segment of this video, and hopefully it's going to get you to where I need you to be. So.
Yeah, feel free to call Jacob 24/7 if you guys have any questions. He's the local IT guy, so he's more than happy to take your calls.
I know. I got your complaint, and all phone calls go right here to my section.
That's right. There you go. File it, man.
All right, man. So listen, I just put this up here. It's the fairway. If this was the normal thing, the normal show of going through some topics, the fairway is just open. So the fairway is open, and so this is where we kind of pause, take a breath, kind of kick the mic out to you guys, and you kind of just ask some questions. Whatever question you ask, that's the direction the rest of this will go. So since it's just you, Matt, looks like we covered a lot, but did you have anything that you're thinking of?
No, I think we're good, buddy. Like I said, I know we're excited and looking forward to, having you guys come down and looking
Okay.
forward to seeing, a lot of new faces in particular. I know that you see it right there at the top of your page. We're all certainly sad to see Golf Channel go.
Yep.
We got some different things coming on the horizon I think everybody will be excited about. But in the meantime, as we proceed locally, it's an opportunity for people to bring guests. There's no membership, so everybody's welcome, and love to expose as many people as we can to, how we feel and kind of know is the best AM Tour experience really anywhere in Ohio between our two tours, and then also into Kentucky with our friends in Louisville, Lexington, the Dayton market in between us. I mean, everybody's welcome to come, man. We're excited to see everyone.
Absolutely. There's so much energy and activity that I'm have, new members, questions, just, I don't know, maybe in the middle of March, probably beginning of April, I think I have 500 likes. We just hit that milestone. Now we're at 560. So there's
Awesome,
there's a new group that's out there. And yeah, there's never been a greater opportunity than now to hop on board with this. The courses that you have access to now, and no membership, try it out, figure out, and even if life comes in a way, you get your entry kicked back. And that's kind of where we're at on my tour. And players have that flexibility. I think they're really enjoying it. But I put this up here, Matt. I'm a kind of, if any of your guys, and if you kind of feel some of these questions, signing up as early as possible. I can't tell you how more important that is now than ever.
Sure.
Yes, there's uncertainty on top of what was used to be normal, which was weather. But heck, man, if sign up early, and if it comes to a point when you later find out that you can play, you might not have a spot. So that's what I advise to folks out there: sign up early, get that out of the way.
It's a great golf course, man. I mean, honestly, you couldn't have picked a better golf course to host your second leg of the tour. So I know your guys are familiar with it. Like I said, we had 3 years there ourselves, where it was our Tournament of the Champions. If you guys see Mike Perazzo on staff this week, he is part of the most famous playoff win in our local tour history. It was something out of the 1920s. We ran out of light. We had 6 players tie in the Hogan flight. We sent them to that little par 3. We moved it up to about 80 yards right next to the clubhouse. Pitch black, 10 members sitting there with cell phones, lights. We had to pull a car up to get a little headlight going, and we did basically a one-hole playoff in pitch black darkness that Perazzo likes to brag that he can hit an 80-yard shot in his sleep, and he sure did, man. He knocked it short. So I know a lot of guys will be excited to go back and play Pinnacle, man. It's been a fun, a lot of history for us.
Hole 7. I know what it is.
7
on
that golf hole.
That creek, man. That's a scary hole.
Yeah, there's a couple of my balls still sitting in there, I'm sure.
Oh, man, there's a whole bunch of them. So I pull this up here. This is our tour championship. This is obviously towards the end of this August, but it's something why I put in here is because I'm getting a lot of questions, particularly about this 2-day event. And the questions I'm getting is this event is actually set for a field max of 60 players right now. And there's some folks out there that are like, hey, I want to play Mount Vernon Country Club, or I want to play Columbus, but I don't want to play the 2 days. Okay, listen, you can sign up today if you're a 1-day tournament kind of guy, but you'll be on a waiting list. This is our tour championship for the season. There's a lot of at stake when we're coming down to the end of the year, and priority will be made for those who are into the 2-day tournament. So yeah, if we don't fill up the 1-dayers, whoever the first 1-dayer was, you'll get in there. And there'll be a separated prize fund for that 1-day event. It's complicated, but listen, all contingencies are on the table. So I'm opening it up. I will allow for signups for a single day, whether it be the Sunday at Mount Vernon or the Monday at Columbus, but you're on the outside looking in, okay? So I put that up there just for that to speak on. And then I kind of just want to close it out here. I'm very excited, man. We didn't know, last year when it kind of ended, we were high-fiving, celebrating, collaborating on what this year would be. And then doom and gloom, man, we didn't feel like it would actually get off to a good start. And that was just 2 months ago, right? And here we are now, able to still have this event, bringing these tours together, still competing it out of the same ideas that we hatched 3 years ago. So I'm high-fiving you, Matt.
Gotcha, brother.
Excited. I respect what you're doing down there. I love what you're doing down there. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to get through the season and share the highs and lows and successes out of it. And just want to play some golf with you, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, back at you, buddy. Hey, the Eagle has landed. It's ready. Let's go have some fun and raise some money and awareness for the military, guys.
All right. So once again, I'm Jacob Bridges, the director of the Capital City Amateur in Columbus. That's Matt Johnson, the director of the Queen City Amateur Tour down in the Cincy, Louisville area. We are part of the best amateur golf tours within the Central Ohio Tri-Valley. What you call it, man? Whatever you want to.
Ohio Valley, buddy.
Ohio
the
Valley.
Tri-State. There you go.
These are the guys. So there's some social media out there for you to follow. Flash this page, flash my page, like and follow. Receive all the updates, receive all the events, all the information, and we're available to you. Pick up the phone, give us a call, and we want to see you on the course. So that's all we have. Matt, I'll see you in 4 days, buddy.
All right, man. Thanks for everything, Jacob. Great job. See you, everyone.